Good evening, Speed Gaming. Welcome back to anybody who was just watching the match over on Speed Gaming 3. And for those of you coming here from wherever else you may have been, welcome to this match between DirtyMike and the boys and Zeb316 as part of the Speed Gaming Live Super Metroid Any Percent tournament. So this is going to be a really cool match. It is part of the silver bracket. Should be from the winner's side, I think. Yeah, so this is actually winner's round 3, so pretty far into the bracket. On the way here, looks like Zeb defeated Kuru, and DirtyMike, who started as 9th seed, had to defeat Chrono and then Smellin. So both runners definitely having to put in some work to get here. We do have a bit of discrepancy in PBs. Zeb316 has a 46. Let's look. Yeah, 46.21. DirtyMike a little bit behind that at a 47.22. So almost exactly a minute deficit. However, in a race, that can absolutely be overcome. I mean, that can literally be like something bad happening at Dragon. But we will have to see with these series times. 45 for Zeb. DirtyMike struggling a little bit. Ekes out at 43. Definitely, I think even a 43 you kind of have to be satisfied with in a race. It is too easy, especially if you're somebody who normally just goes for PBs, or you're a primarily a rando runner, Zeb. Something stuck in my throat. It is all too easy to get hit with one steam, and then suddenly your 45 turns into a 35. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting putting these two runners side by side. DirtyMike, bit of a newer runner, but he's really been making strides in any percent and has just been constantly grinding his time down. So it's been really cool to see. Zeb is much more of an enfranchised player, and he's had his 46 for a long time. However, he is almost exclusively a rando runner under normal circumstances. And to that end, he is one of the absolute best Super Metroid rando runners. So one of the things that you can expect from him is that PB can be a little bit deceptive compared to what his movements is going to look like throughout. He might not be going for all of these super crazy, risky frame saver strats, but he's going to have really solid movement through rooms, and whenever he makes a mistake, he's going to be recovering really quickly. But yeah, so absolutely, I'm really excited to see this race. If I had to guess, I would expect DirtyMike to take the edge potentially in boss fights, depending on how they go for each runner, and Zeb to maybe have some better rooms overall. However, of course, Zeb very skilled at boss fights with literally any loadout you can throw at him. And DirtyMike really really skilled at just moving through rooms as well. But yeah, honestly, either of these players you could fully expect to see in grand finals or taking the tournament overall. A little bit of issue here in the climb for Zeb. Still just a little bit ahead of DirtyMike, who opted for that ledge grab climb. And it's so cool seeing runners do parlor because there are about as many different ways to do parlor as there are platforms in parlor. So you see Zeb really favors his wall jumps maybe a bit more. So does a more wall jump oriented parlor. DirtyMike a few more ledge grabs in there. And both players arriving at bombs at roughly the same time. DirtyMike's going for the setup to make BT jump immediately. Zeb goes for a slightly different, ever so slightly slower setup, where you walk forward to make BT jump back. Bit of a rough fight for DirtyMike. Takes damage, can't get the missiles that he wants. So Zeb's gonna take a little bit of a lead here. Okay, so depending on how DirtyMike does Terminator, that hit doesn't matter. It didn't look like he bonked on that door, though. Yeah. So he can't use missiles here. Doesn't matter nearly as much. He got the door open. In KPDR, that's the most important part, is you open that door. You basically don't even care about that extra 10 damage. So really all the time that Mike lost there was the time it took to get through the knockback from the waiver. And we've got a 628 elevator from Zeb and a 633 from DirtyMike. Not necessarily what either runner really wants to see, but in a race, you can't expect your early game to go well. And I know that DirtyMike has gone on record before saying that early game is one of his worst segments. Given that, especially when you're doing PB attempts, you can reset early game as many times as you want, but once you have that solid early game, you only get that chance to have a good mid and late game. Yeah, so nice missile drop there for Mike. Unlike in something like Old Route, you can't ever really guarantee yourself a missile drop because you'll never be full on health. Zeb completely skipping the free Rio farm. I kind of don't like that. I mean, yeah, DirtyMike has 4 missiles now, which heading into Kraid's warehouse can actually be a huge deal. Oh, Mike went for that moonfall. It's become a popular strat among a lot of runners recently. I know DeCalt has been doing it for forever, but a lot of other runners picking it up as well. Alright, looks like Zeb is gonna forgo the bug boost. Miss. Oh, DirtyMike doesn't quite get the door shot. And is actually gonna wait to charge up a shot. Really wants to hold on to those 10 missiles. Yeah, so DirtyMike having a little bit of trouble here in that scree boost room. If you don't have the setup you want, it can get really difficult. Ooh, grabbed by the yapping maw. So interestingly, despite having 5 supers, Zeb doesn't go for the fast entry there. Oh, I like that deboost strat. So what this does mean is that Zeb is going to be able to conserve more missiles here. Only has to use 1. Same for Mike. So yeah, looks like Varia times are going to be just a bit north of 10 minutes here. Alright, Zeb goes for the Force Supercharge Crate Quick Kill. Very nicely done. Looks like Mike is going to be going for a 2 missile. Yeah, so really nice from both of you. From both of the runners here. So now our runners are going to be going into Upper Norfair. I'll be curious to see. I believe DirtyMike does main 4 tank. I'm not sure if Zeb intends to pick up Crate Tank or not. It does provide a ton of extra survivability throughout the run. Most useful, in my opinion, in the Meridia segment. Yeah, so DirtyMike does pick up that Crate E-Tank. Zeb is going to be 3 tanking, it looks like. So on paper, that is a time loss for Mike. However, obviously, first of all, if you die because you decided to go 3 tank, that's a much bigger time loss. But also, 4 tank does allow you to use health in some other ways, notably Attic Spark. So if you don't know all of these strats for 3 tank, you can't just kind of skip that Crate Tank and hope for the best. Yeah, another one of those strats, chat mentioning Attic Spark. Nobody should ever be going for Attic Spark on 3 tanks. Even on 4 tanks, depending on your drops from Fantoon, it's really sketchy. But yeah, this section here, Upper Norfair, is a really technically demanding segment, really the whole way through. You are almost certainly not going to die in Upper Norfair, but you can lose seconds upon seconds. Zeb had a really nice mock ball there in Rising Tide. Doesn't save as much time as I always think it would. I think it saves like 10 frames from my testing. Obviously, you still want to get it. Anywhere you can save frames is good. But that mock ball feels much faster. So yeah, this has been a really solid segment for Zeb so far. I'm curious to see how many farms he'll take coming out of speed. His resources are really low here. Oh, DirtyMike just barely getting that wall jump off Bubble Mountain. Doesn't matter if you just get the if you just barely get that wall jump, or if you get it towards the top of the ledge, as long as you get it. And one farm gave Mike some really nice resources here. Great 2 farm for Zeb. 4 missiles across 2 farms is really good luck. Alright, good farms for Mike as well. It looked like, what, a 14-18 wave for Zeb. and that was like a 1450 or so for Mike. So definitely a very solid lead for Zeb so far. Certainly not insurmountable. Especially, coming up, we've got Fantoon, even perfectly executed. Different Fantoon patterns can be the difference of like 30 seconds. Yeah, so Zeb, great resources here. Doesn't need to worry about supers at all. Same for DirtyMike. As long as neither of them cojacked any supers, they're going to have ideal resources going into Wreck Ship. Yeah, so Zeb can't really go for Alpha Spark. I mean, you will see the top runners, like literally like Zost or Zenny, go for Alpha Spark if they have full health here. But it puts you at significantly lower health if you are 3 tanking. DirtyMike, however, I absolutely expect to be going for Alpha Spark. A little bit of trouble here with Red Tower for Zeb. That's one of those rooms, KPDR Red Tower up. First, my absolute favorite room in the game. Love that strat, love to grind it. But also, that's something that's not going to be as much of a concern in Randomizer. You don't really care if you have a 20-second Red Tower in Rando, whereas somebody like DirtyMike very clearly has grinded this room out quite a bit. Oh, just barely misses the down grab. Still really nice, very quick recovery. And Zeb's health is really ideal here. I mean, he is 1 tank lower than DirtyMike and still has almost exactly the same amount of health by the time that DirtyMike leaves here. He's actually gonna have more. And he waits there for that farm. I wonder if that was just for the health, or if Zeb likes to employ some double X Factor strats. You don't see many runners these days going for double X Factors, but they do exist. And if you're going for double X Factor, you do need to farm an extra power bomb somewhere along the way. Yeah, Mike waiting for those drops as well. Could also just be banking on Fantoon not giving good enough drops, as having 3 power bombs leaving Wrecked Ship is really important. Nice speed ball for Zeb. Zeb does have power bombs selected here, which indicates to me that he's planning on going for on-screen X Factors. You do save a bit of time this way. However, it is harder and you do take that hit. Gonna be a slow for Zeb. Nicely cleaned up. Zeb's health a little bit scary here. He can still take 3 hits, but he doesn't want to take more than 2 or he'll be in health bomb range. Very nicely cleaned up. So a really good fight from Zeb. Only way DirtyMike could save time here is with better patterns. Not gonna get the fast. Does get the mid though. Cleans it up. So possible to save more time here? Yeah, a mid would save a little bit of time on Zeb. Oh, DirtyMike gets a little bit antsy there. Doesn't have quite the runway to get the missiles and the super in, and he's gonna be punished with a slow. Yeah, so that's really rough for Mike. Crappy drops too. What the hell? Fantoon, do we need to have another talk? Bit of a rough attic here for Zeb. Coming out with decent resources, though. Hopefully this pancake farm gives him health and maybe one more super. Yeah, the health was the most important part. As it stands, he could farm 2 cacks on the way down and just be solid. Let's see this attic for Mike. Just comes up short of what would have been a very nice blue keep attic. Still really fast, still saves some time over Zeb there. Attic is absolutely one of the hardest rooms in the game, and especially for a lot of like mid-level runners. It's one of those rooms where if you get your backup right, then you are happy with how the room went. Alright, Zeb jumping through the door. Gonna make sure he's not skipping gravity. Yeah, DirtyMike unfortunately didn't get a good jump into the room. Has to take 3 hits here. His health is still really good though because of that third tank. Nice mock ball over the moat there for Zeb. Yeah, no need to farm those crabs when you have 4 power bombs. That is already enough for 2 break, Aqueduct, Botswoon, and Dragon. Definitely want to farm these supers though. In an ideal world, you got 1 super for the door, 6 supers for Botswoon, and another super for pre-Dragon room, and then another super for Precious room. And you want 1 additional super for Dragon herself. So, as long as everything goes right, Zeb could have absolutely no drops here, and still make it through all of Meridia. DirtyMike not quite so lucky, being at only 7 supers. So he's gonna try and do a couple farms in Howway. Gets the super, can't really get to it though without being grabbed by the Vileplume. Nice greedy boost. Oh yeah, and Zeb does like to go for the audio cue here, which means he doesn't have to worry about normalizing his movement through this door. So yeah, has to hope that Botswoon drops supers here. Why would he ever? So Zeb needs to farm at least 1 super here. And if you're farming at least 1 super, it makes sense to farm at least 2, and most people would farm 3. Really quick farm, though. Oh! Unfortunately, Zeb's gonna take a fall there. Okay, Botswoon. So, DirtyMike here, being a dirty thief and stealing all of Zeb's Botswoon drops. And then gets the Yahtzee! Shoutouts to Hockey Towner. And was that another super from one of the Puyos? Nah, that must have just been a missile. DirtyMike looks like he's just gonna go for the halfie. Completely reasonable call here. Alright, Zeb's got great resources for this fight, no matter what pattern Dragon decides to go for. That's a really interesting Dragon setup. I don't think I've seen that from anyone else before. Oh, Dre's not dead, really. That third spark was a bit low. Yeah, there we go. Zeb gonna expend all his missiles here. Not a bad fight at all. That was a neat setup, though. All the particles hit, like, off-screen. Ooh, and DirtyMike sniped that goo mere frames before it would have entrapped him in Dragon's claws. Yeah, like that. Yeah, Mike really can't spark here. Or he can, but he wants to have a dash value, basically. Yeah. Dragon fight's really tough. As soon as it goes a little bit wrong, it goes a lot of bit wrong. Thankfully, both of these runners have at least decent resources for the Dragon to LN split. Yeah, unfortunately no Womple for DirtyMike. So just gonna space jump across with a little bit less speed. Not a huge deal. Alright, let's see this plasma room from Zeb. He didn't want to use his one power bomb. I think that's pretty reasonable. Not sure if he does typically main the power bomb strat or not. Regardless, still a pretty fast room for him. So we'll see. Even with some of the rough luck that DirtyMike had there with Dragon, he's still not far behind. You know, regardless of who wins this match today, honestly, I would not be surprised at all to see these two rematch in grand finals. Maybe not the absolutely most likely matchup, but especially if DirtyMike keeps improving at the pace that he has been, I think we could see a really sick losers bracket run from him. if he does lose this race today. And if something happens to Zeb here and he gets knocked down to losers, I mean, I think he could absolutely tear up losers bracket. He is entering this as the 1 seed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, really nice resources from both runners now. A really clean ice escape mock ball there from Zeb316. Oh, he overshot it. Now he's forced to go the worst route. Yeah, so the difference between northern route and southern route optimally is about a second. And some people would contend that northern route is significantly easier. I don't have any horse in this race. I run Picard, but I would contend that southern route is much sicker. So yeah, I don't know about this notion of northern route being cooler. Good space jump. So DirtyMike so far maximizing his southern route time save. Meanwhile, Zeb going for a fast pillars here. Very nice. Let's see what Richie strat he goes for here. Yeah, so this is a pretty standard strat that we've seen from a lot of runners. I really like it. I think it's a good balance between speed and difficulty. So, really nice room for Zeb. Alright, nice key hunter shaft. Killing those two key hunters actually removes a lot of lag in the room for these two power bombs. Oh, that was a really cool wasteland there from Zeb. He waits a little bit. I wonder if waiting there a little bit before the mock ball removes the need to do a manip at all. Yeah, so Zeb not going for the flower house, instead is gonna space jump across the prior room. To answer chat, this is the same route from both players. The only difference is that DirtyMike picked up Great E-Tank and Zeb did not. Oh, yeah, this Plasma room, or Ninja Pirates room, excuse me, going a little bit wrong for DirtyMike. He cleans it up quite nicely, though. When things go wrong in that room, they can go really wrong. Nice Plower House and nice Ridley from Zeb. Really just too much incredible gameplay going on between these two screens to point it all out. Zeb's got ideal resources here, leaving LN though. Yeah, a couple missed shots here on this Ridley so far. Should be dead in just a second, though. Meanwhile, Zeb has all the key hunters in nice positions for manips here, or plasma shots. Plasma kind of lets you just run through enemies. Pretty busted weapon, honestly. Sick reverse powerhouse for DirtyMike. Yeah, and DirtyMike kind of running out of places to save time over Zeb. Really nice manips from Zeb here. That was a sick 3 Musketeers. See, that's what I mean. I love watching these rando runners because you're about to see some of the most unorthodox and unexpected strats. Alright, yeah, so at this point, just a mad race to Turian. Really movement-heavy section of the run. General rule of thumb in Super Metroid, the more movement items you have, the more difficult strategies are available to you, and then the more difficult rooms are going to be to optimize. Oh no! Yeah, Mike, seeing how the shoot everything twice beam can be a bit annoying sometimes. And that's one of those things, too, I think it's important to touch on. I'm sure Mike is going to come in here afterwards and be like, I don't know what's happened. I don't know what happened. I've never done that before. And that's one of the things with racing. Your mind does weird things, and so you will make mistakes that you cannot even comprehend how you did it. Definitely it takes a different mentality to do races, and definitely one that Zeb is acutely familiar with as one of the best rando runners in Super Metroid, period. Alright, so Zeb is about to start on Turian here. DirtyMike, just a few rooms and a G4 cutscene behind. At this point, there's not really much that DirtyMike could do to make up this difference. Even Baby Skip and the slowest Metroid rooms wouldn't be enough. Those are some pretty terrible drops, though. There we go. Let's see this M3 from Zeb. Very nice. Okay, Metroids. Kind of weird, but okay. Zeb's still fine because he did pick up that 4th missile pack, but that's supremely annoying. To ask for 2 super drops from 3 Metroids and not get hooked up. Zeb going for a laggier strat here for Baby Skip. The additional lag does give you more time for your inputs. So definitely a great way to learn Baby Skip. Only loses you like a second or two. Oh, nice M3 drops for DirtyMike here. And he really wants to super here. Just make absolutely positive he gets that last bit of health, yeah. Yeah, I used to do lag Baby Skip. And once you stop doing it, you kind of forget how to do it, I feel like. But at least for me, when I started doing Baby Skip, I found it much easier. Baby Skip attempt from Mike here. Oh, didn't jump far enough. Face is right. Thinks 40 frames are worth more than his honor and dignity. Hashtag face left gang. And Zeb makes it through Mother Brain. It's a really nice fight, really nice turn from Zeb. And at this point, it's just going to be a matter of completing Mother Brain 3 and the escape. Meanwhile, DirtyMike's going to start on his Mother Brain 2. Mother Brain 2 is one of those very funny fights where it's extremely simple, but as a result it means it's really testing your ability to hold down a button and release it and press it again at the right times. Which is, you know, not free. That was a heck of a catch-up pattern. Mike makes it through, though. It's gonna take a couple itty baby hits here. And Mother Brain 3 goes down without much of a fuss at all. Looking like potentially a high 46 here for Zeb. Alright, goes for the vertical spark. Loses a little bit of time, but removes any risk of bonking a platform. Well, for the most part. There are certain situations where you can bonk with a vertical spark. And Zeb finishes in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 47 minutes and 2 seconds. GG. Yeah, so really nice race from both runners. This does mean that Zeb will be moving on. Looks like we are joined now by Zeb316. GG's on the win.
Yeah, thanks. GG.
So how are you feeling about that run overall?
It was okay. Like, basically, I feel like that was kind of like an average race run for me. Not great, but not terrible either. Like, there were some spots that were pretty bad, some spots that were pretty good. Like, nothing disastrous happened, so.
Yeah, definitely. I think in any percent, it kind of feels like if nothing disastrous happens, that's kind of the ideal run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with I think that was actually a 46, even though I ended up hitting the timer a little bit late, but...
Yeah, it looked like a 59 to me.
Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty happy to run that in a race. Like, I was thinking basically for the silver bracket, as if I'm running like 46s and maybe low 47s, I've got a pretty good shot of winning this. If I'm running like mid 47s, then I'm probably a bit off. So,
yeah, I think that's probably true for the most part. We do have a couple people in this bracket who are capable of really solid 46s.
Yeah, for sure. I think for races, though, like 46 should like generally kind of beat most people, but it's yeah. They could have good runs to beat that too.
And we are joined now by DirtyMike, who finished with an official racetime.gg time of 48:57. GG's, Mike.
Yeah, GG. GG Zeb.
Yeah, GG.
It was a sick run. Jeez.
Yeah.
47. That's nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. Like, lost a lot of time on that space jump split.
Yeah.
Early game was kind of bad, but
yeah, pretty much same here. Just at a worse level. But yeah, missed the 2-round on Fantoon. Man, that really sucked. It was a layup too. It was that right mid. Oh, feels bad.
Was it the first or the second part that you missed?
It was just the last like super, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do the X Factor into Doppler method or?
Yeah, I do first round X Factor and then just the 6 missiles and super.
Yeah, I do.
But
Oh, really? 6
Yeah,
missiles into
yeah.
super?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah. That makes
2,
sense.
2,
Yep.
222. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking you were saying 226 super. And I was like, okay, that's pretty.
No, that'd be sick.
It seems a bit excessive.
No wonder I miss it all the time now.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, it's usually pretty consistent, but
mhm.
yeah, just had a rough run. Even missed baby skip. Jeez,
Yeah.
that's usually a pretty solid trick for me. But
Mhm.
overall,
Yeah, I saw.
I mean,
I think that you in your last race you got like a low 48. So
yeah. So it was.
I figured I didn't want to take too many safeties because then if I played badly, I could lose to like a high 47, low 48.
Right, yeah. I saw you skipped Kraid Tank and I was like, I'm not that good, bro.
Yeah,
You can
like
take it.
I also like I don't know. I skipped Kraid Tank in all the qualifiers, and I finished all of them anyway. And like
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable skipping Kraid Tank. Like that's just kind of how I play. I enjoy playing without Kraid Tank more too. So like,
Nice. Nice.
I kind of like a little bit of.
Issues.
I kind of like a little bit of danger. At certain parts of the run. So.
Yeah.
I was surprised I didn't get any catch-ups in Mother Brain. That was.
Oh really?
Yep, no catch-ups the whole time.
Blessed. I was watching like all throughout Torian, like in between rooms, like, oh, is he gonna die to Mother Brain? Do I have a chance?
Yeah, I was a little worried when I got 29. I was thinking about like missing the door and refilling, but I was all like, I'm not a coward, so I just went.
Well, and I saw you even got like the Rinka deboost to get past those hoppers. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, that's pretty important when you're on 3 tank.
Yeah, that's sick.
Like to get that, I kind of like you can get it with missing the last Metroids, but it's a lot harder. So I basically always just super the last Metroids so I can get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that my Lore and Warfare was probably my best segment. Like even like also through Golden 4, like from Ice up to Golden 4 was pretty good for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and then the rest of the run was
my Marina
kind of
was actually decent. Like Dragon was about the only thing that I messed up, and obviously full halfy, but yeah, I was pretty pleased. Aside from just the shaky early game, like plus 20 at Varia. Ugh.
Yeah, I haven't really been like working on this at all, like because I don't know. Once I didn't make gold, I was kind of like, whatever. Like I'll play, but I won't like work on this because like I don't know. I've kind of retired from any percent as of like 2 years ago to go do randomizer stuff. Pretty much 100% of my time with Super Metroid. I kind of got dragged back into this because I'm doing a league with in Mr. Guy Average's server. And any percent is one of the categories, so I figured I may as well join. Which is why I only joined for like the last 4 qualifiers. That's when I decided, may as well just join this. But yeah, like it would be cool if I could PB, get my 45, and then quit any percent forever. But
yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
I was having some issues tonight with my upshots. I'm not sure if you noticed that at all.
No,
where I would like instead of shooting up, like I would be pressing up and then I would press right. Like luckily I didn't have it with BT. A lot of times like I'll try to press up and I'll accidentally press upright and run right into BT.
Yeah.
And that's obnoxious.
That'll happen in like my Metroid rooms, like especially room 3, because I'm just like clawing the select button, so I'm like pressing down on the D-pad too hard, like especially if I'm on pace.
Yeah.
Just, like freaking out, like just press too hard and then get that diagonal.
Yeah.
But
it was mostly Climb and Ridley that it kind of screwed me up on, but the rest of the run actually wasn't too bad with that.
It's good, yeah.
All right,
Looks like you had a solid run.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like we have another match coming up right after this. So absolutely, GG's to both of you. Zeb, good luck facing the winner of Tilly and Maniacal. Dirty Mike still in the tournament. Looks like you're going to be facing the winner of a lot of people. So absolutely best of luck, whatever matchup comes your way. For those in the chat, that's going to do it from us here at Speed Gaming. Be sure to go follow both of these runners, go follow Dirty Mike, go follow Zeb316. If you would be so kind, follow the broadcast team as well. I've been Glove on comms, and from us here at Speed Gaming, we'll see you next mission.